I'll put it on the line. Your airplane parts factory might do very well to hire a group of Empire County people who have a great potential.
Who?
Men and women with heart disease.
Heart disease? Now, Dr.
It
Bell...
may seem a little odd to you.
Look, this isn't a hospital.
This is Dr. Walter Bell, and I'd like to bring you another transcribed chapter in the story of Empire County. This series is presented to you by the New York State Department of Health and produced by the State Radio Bureau. Today's story, A Better Bench. Two citizens of Empire City, Charlie Whitmore and Arthur Lewis, needed each other's help. The trouble was they didn't know it. If these two men, and other men and women like them, don't get together, then every community, yours and mine, will suffer a definite loss. Julia Harper, who's been my secretary ever since I became health commissioner of Empire County, ran into Charlie Whitmore one morning a couple of months ago.
Hi there, Mr. Whitmore.
Oh, hello, Julia. Where are you heading?
The office. Wanted to get there early to finish up some letters Dr. Bell dictated late yesterday. Got a rush?
Oh, sure, Julia. Bye.
Bye. On second thought, I think I'll take my time. Dr. Bell said he had a meeting till 10:30 anyway, so he won't be able to sign the letters until then. Mind if I sit down?
Oh, go right ahead. The park bench is public property.
How are you feeling, Mr. Whitmore?
Me? Oh, just fine. How are your folks?
Just fine. We were talking about you only this weekend. Dad said how much he missed seeing you out bowling every week.
You can tell him I miss it, too. But, Julia, you'll find out when you get to be an old man and the old pump won't work right anymore. Bowling is out of the question.
Old? Why, you're younger than Dad, and he's only 55.
Well, maybe I am, in years. It's how old the heart feels that counts, though. And after it begins to go bad on you, you don't feel very young at all.
Yes, I know. I heard about it, of course, and Mr. Whitmore, I'm awfully sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Julia. I didn't mean to burden you with my ailment.
Not at all.
Just that, well, up until 5 months ago, and your father can tell you, I wasn't really too bad at bowling and golf. And your pop still hasn't forgiven me for catching the biggest trout in Empire Brook. And this darn old heart of mine kicked up.
Mr. Whitmore, I know how you feel.
Oh, you do, huh? You know how it feels to give up your job.
Well, no,
Not a bad job, either. Charlie Whitmore, top salesman for Empire Auto Parts Incorporated. Well, I know every part of Empire and Onawega counties practically by heart. Yeah, by heart. And now the height of my activity is having my daughter Edith drop me off here for a spell in the sun on a bench in a park near the highway. Look at that big bus go. Well, Julia, you better be getting to work, else Dr. Bell will let you go, and you'll be sitting here on this bench with me every day.
Yes, I do have to go, but... Oh, but, Mr. Whitmore, I know that I'm too young for me to be giving you advice. But having heart disease doesn't mean the end of everything. Why, there are lots of people, too many, as a matter of fact, who have heart conditions and still lead a good life.
Depends on what you call a good life, young lady. Some folks would consider this one perfectly okay. Enough money to get by on, nothing to do but sit on a park bench all day long.
But
Not Charlie Whitmore, though.
But there's so many things that you could do.
Going to teach an old dog new tricks?
Oh.
No. My days of selling on the road are over. My heart couldn't take anything like that anymore. And that's about all I know how to do.
Oh, Mr. Whitmore...
I wasn't ready to call it quits, not by a long shot. This tired ticker that put me here on this bench. Now, look here, Judy. You don't have to sit and listen to the groaning of an invalid. You get on down to that office PDQ.
All right, Mr. Whitmore.
Well, So long, Julie. I'll be seeing you.
Dr. Bell, are you very busy right now?
No, what's the matter? You look worried.
I am. It's not me I'm worried about, though.
Sit down, Julia. Now, what is it?
I met Charlie Whitmore this morning.
Whitmore? I don't think I know him.
We did. We do. Mr. Whitmore is an old friend of my family's. He's an auto parts salesman. That is, he was.
Oh, well, go on.
He had a heart attack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The attack was 5 months ago. He's all right now. At least he's not paralyzed or anything like that. But Dr. Bell, he's so different. He used to be so full of pep. Dad says he was a wonderful salesman. And I know that he was a very active sportsman, too, and, well, now he...
Now he just sits on his porch and thinks he can't do anything?
Sits on a bench in the park.
Uh-huh. Tell me, how old is Mr. Whitmore?
A little over 50. It's such a shame that an active life should be ended so early.
You too?
What do you mean, Doctor?
Well, you should know that a heart condition doesn't mean the end of everything.
That's what I told Mr. Whitmore.
Good, I'm glad. But you have got to move slowly in a matter like this. Remember, a heart attack may cause a terrific psychological impact on a person in addition to the physical one. Then, of course, there's the economic blow to consider.
I saw that this morning. Dr. Bell, what about other people who have heart conditions? They've done something about it.
Not as much as can be done. It's a community responsibility. You see, heart disease can affect people of various age groups. Rheumatic fever in childhood and most other types later in life. All in all, Empire County has probably about 8,000 people who have to live with a heart condition.
And are they all as limited as Mr. Whitmore?
Well, more or less. Some of them have undoubtedly found things to keep them busy without endangering their lives. But they and the community can do a lot more. These people have value to the social and the economic life of the community. And that value should be used.
I wish we could do something for Charlie.
Oh, we can. And industry can, too. But what's more important, Charlie can do something for himself and for the other men and women who are heart patients.
How can he do it?
Do you know Mr. Whitmore's phone number?
No, but I'll look it up in the book.
Oh, fine. Now, while you're doing that, I'll call Arthur Lewis. He's manager of the airplane parts factory out here. Well, you've got a pretty big place, Mr. Lewis.
Getting bigger all the time. That's one of my troubles. One in my office. Less noisy.
Thanks.
Have a seat.
Thanks. Hey, by the way, that's what I came to talk to you about.
A seat?
No, I thought you said a minute ago that one of your big problems was the growth of this plant.
It certainly is. The way Empire County's been digging into this defense work, we have a rough time finding enough good people to do all the old work, much less the new stuff.
Yeah. Mr. Lewis, I think I can help you.
I should think the Commissioner of Health would be busy enough without going into the employment agency business.
No, but this is different. I'll put it on the line. Your airplane parts factory might do very well to hire a group of Empire County people who have a great potential.
Who?
Men and women with heart disease.
Heart disease? Now, Dr.
It
Bell,
may seem a little odd to you.
more than a little odd. Look, I don't want to appear too tough or ungenerous, but this isn't a hospital. I started this plant in a garage 5 years ago, and now, well, you can see that it's grown some.
Yeah.
240 employees. I don't mean to boast, but it didn't get this way with anything but healthy, strong, ambitious workers.
Oh, I understand that. And yet you were just saying that you could use some more workers, that there's a shortage of good labor.
Ah, that's it. Labor. What can these people do? Danger'd be too great. My father had a bad heart. My poor man could hardly do a thing for 2 years before he died.
Mr. Lewis, there's a lot of difference between could and would. Now, if you could find some work, light assembly of some sort, even planning and designing, these people would be of tremendous benefit to you.
Well, I want to be perfectly fair to everybody. Can't lose anything by listening.
Good. Now, I'm meeting with a Mr. Whitmore.
can tell. Might turn out to be a darn good plan, Mr. Whitmore.
Well, I'm sure it will. In only 1 week, we've got 14 people lined up. Every one of them will be able to put in 6 hours a day. All we ask is that your plant physician helps supervise the work and that there's a trained nurse around.
Now, let me get this straight. You take a half-hour rest after getting to work, then another half hour before lunch.
And then there'd be a 30-minute rest period after lunch and another half hour out before going home.
That's right, Dr. Bell. That makes a total of 2 hours rest. Now, take that from an 8-hour day and still leave 6 very productive hours.
So you see, Mr. Lewis, it's not a major medical problem at all. They've done it for years at the Altro workshops in New York City, and they've demonstrated that employing people with heart disease is feasible. You may not know it, but the overall employment record of disabled people is excellent all throughout the United States.
We'll work hard.
I'm sure you will, Mr. Whitmore. I only wish that some concerted action like this had been taken when Dad was alive. Well, he probably could have led a pretty full and useful life, even with the handicap of his heart disease.
Well, we managed to get Charlie Whitmore and Arthur Lewis together. That meant a lot of things, all of them good. The 2 major gains were, 1, the people who were suffering from heart disease found a way to be of service to themselves and to the community. Their whole mental attitude changed, and they became better adjusted with their neighbors, their friends, and their families. Secondly, the community gained by discovering a new source of intelligent, productive employees. Well, it was only a few weeks later that my secretary met Charlie Whitmore again. A much changed Charlie Whitmore.
Julia! Miss Harper!
Why, Mr. Whitmore.
This is my boss, Mr. Lewis. Miss Harper.
How do you do?
You want a lift?
Why, thanks.
All right.
Say, Mr. Whitmore, I've noticed that that old park bench has been empty for quite a while.
That's right. I'm on a different bench now.
Charlie's foreman of the distributor assembly line now, Miss Harper.
Oh.
He and his people are doing quite a job. Amazing what can be done in 6 hours a day.
So I've heard. And I also hear that 2 more plants have set up similar departments.
That's largely old Charlie's doing.
Wonderful, Mr. Whitmore.
I'm telling you, there's nothing you can't do once you put your mind and heart to it. Even with an old retread of a heart like mine.